time to go. All right, everyone, welcome to Thursday. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3.
I'm ready.
All right, guys. Today, I want to share something that a team member said to me a few years ago, and it really hit me. And since we're wrapping up Thrive Thursday, I wanted to place this on everyone's heart. He shared there are millions of people in the world right now that would want to trade places with you. They would love to trade places for your health, your home, your career, the people you love, for the ability to wake up this morning and begin again. That does not mean that your life may be perfect. It simply means that sometimes we become so focused on what's missing in our lives that we forget how much we already have. We become so focused on where everyone else appears to be that we stop loving this moment and who we are. And today, I'm here to remind all of you, I want you to love your life, not the life you're working towards. Love the life you're living right now. Think about what life was like 25 or 50 years ago, before social media ever existed, before we carried a window into millions of other people's lives in our hands, before we woke up and immediately saw someone's vacation, promotion, new home, family photos, workouts, and celebration. Our world was mostly what was right in front of us: our family, our neighbors, our friends, our work, our community. We compared ourselves far less because we had far less people to compare ourselves to. And perhaps because our attention was closer to home, it was easier for us to recognize what we already had. We were living on our own. I'd like us to think about 5 years in our own lives. There were things that we hoped for and wished for. Well, those things are probably normal in our life right now. They were the relationships that we begged for, opportunities we dreamed about, responsibilities we wished that someone would trust us with. Maybe it was a place to visit or a goal we wanted to reach. But now, because it's familiar, we barely even notice those things. Well, that's one of the challenges of being human. We quickly adjust. The new home, because the big house that we complain we have to clean. The big promotion becomes the job that, oh, it's so stressful. The family that we long for become the people we're rushing by because we're so busy. The blessings don't disappear. Our attention simply moves on. Oprah Winfrey says, never let the things you want make you forget the things you have. I was thinking back in 2021, I was at an NBA New Jersey event, and there was this woman that drove 6 hours from Boston to come to an NBA New Jersey conference because she had been watching me on social media and she wanted to come and meet me in person. Well, obviously, as soon as I heard this, I had to make time to go and spend some time with her. And she shared a story with me about how her mother and her 5 siblings came here from Haiti. This was in the 1990s. And she was a little girl, and she walked outside of the airport in New York City, in New York. And there were homeless people outside, smoking cigarettes, and they had a bottle of water in their hand. And the little girl turned to her mother and said, Mom, all of the people in America are so rich. Look at those people. They have shoes, they have a bottle of water, and they're smoking a cigarette. This is an incredible place. Through her eyes, she saw that those people have an amazing life, where all of us, of course, would not see it that way. Today, I remind all of us that the day that you call ordinary could be someone else's dream. You woke up in a bed. Someone wishes they had a safe place to sleep. You opened the refrigerator. Someone's wondering how they're feeding their family. We complained about the client who sent a strong email. There's someone that doesn't have a job right now that would love to connect with that client. Perspective reminds us that our lives contain more than our problems. You are allowed to want more and, of course, appreciate what we have. You're allowed to be tired, but also grateful. You're allowed to work towards change while loving this journey. Those things can exist together. There's a story about a man who complained that he didn't have the shoes that he wanted. He looked at his worn shoes and he felt embarrassed. He saw other people wearing newer, more expensive shoes and he wondered why he didn't have them. And then he met a man that had no feet. And in that moment, his perspective changed. His shoes hadn't changed. The circumstances didn't change. But when he saw what he looked at the other person, his perspective completely changed. Gratitude does not always change the circumstances, but it changes how we experience the circumstance. The job may still be demanding. The goal may still require effort. The relationship may still need attention. But when we remember what is good, we stop allowing what's difficult to become the entire story. Teddy Roosevelt says, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison does not only steal joy, it steals our ability to see it clearly. It makes us believe that someone else's path is evidence that ours is wrong. It creates an imaginary timeline that says maybe we should be further ahead. But your life is not supposed to look like anybody else. Your timing is your timing. Your gifts are your gifts. Someone else's success doesn't take away. Someone else's beauty doesn't make you less beautiful. Someone else's opportunity does not mean opportunity has run out for you. Perhaps one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is to return our attention to what's right in front of us. The person sitting across the table, the work we have, the joy and gift that we get to do every day, the home that keeps us safe, the body that's keeping us strong, the people who answer when we call, the small moments that may not look impressive, but they make a meaningful life, the family dinner, the hug, the laugh, the quiet moment in a familiar room. These moments may never receive hundreds of likes. It may not be an impressive photograph, but they're our life. And a life does not need to look impressive to other people to feel meaningful to you. We are all good at celebrating the beginnings and ends of things. We celebrate the new job, the marriage, the baby, the closing, the graduation, the achievement. But most of our lives actually happen in the middle. The ordinary days, the small progress that isn't going to get applaud. The middle is where your life lives. Don't rush through it. Sometimes we become so focused on reaching that destination, we forget it's the journey of doing that's within us. Remember that if there's a delay, it's teaching us patience. If it's a challenge, it's building resilience. The uncertainty is developing courage. The mistakes are improving our judgment. The journey is not merely taking you somewhere, it's making you someone. Loving your life does not mean loving every circumstance. It means recognizing that your life has value even when some parts are difficult. It means refusing to postpone that joy until everything is perfect. If you wait for every issue to disappear, you're going to wait your entire life. Joy must be practiced in those imperfect moments. Remember, what if today is one of those good old days you will someday wish that you could go back to? Don't miss it while it's happening. Today's challenge is to notice 3 things that you've gotten to become familiar that maybe you don't recognize it's a blessing. A person, a place, a skill, an opportunity, a responsibility. Tell someone what they mean to you. Put your phone down in those meaningful moments. And when frustration begins to rise, remind yourself, there are millions of people that would trade places with you in a second. This is to remember that blessing. And as we wrap up today, and I did want to make today impactful because we're wrapping up another week, and I really want this to feel, I want to share a poem with you. The author is Linda Ellis. I heard someone say this on an event that I was part of, and it really touched me. And I want to leave all of this with you. I read a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. From the dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live in love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. When your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? Make it a remarkable day, everyone, and we'll see you next week.